Well, welcome everyone. This is our third Mary Magdalene call in this year of 2022. And the Heart of the World Flower Essences was first commissioned by Nancy Strachan, who is here. And we have had several now new distributors of Heart of the World Flower Essences in different parts of the country. So what I thought I would do first is to introduce them to you. And then I'll talk a little bit about how we do the consultations, and then we'll hear a message from Mary Magdalene. And she updates the protocol for the flower essences periodically. This is the third one this year. And she offers us an opportunity to really focus on where we are as humanity and where we are in our evolution. And she will provide us with some information and guidance. And then we will actually talk more about the flower essences and how they work. So I will just introduce very briefly, because I cannot see. My top line here is Denise. Denise is in my top line, and she is in New York, and she is a distributor, and she is a Saima lady. All right, and then my next line is Nancy. Okay, Nancy is our commissioner. She started this whole thing. She's sitting in front of the Bucarache Mountain in France, which is her favorite place. And she lives in Virginia, and she is one of our founders, actually the founder. Okay, and then we have Lisa, and Lisa is a new distributor, and she is in Israel. Very pleased. So is Mary. Okay. All right. And then we have Dominique. I'm just going by my my little lines here. Dominique is in France. I'm sorry, Canada. French in Canada. Yeah. Okay. And then we have Ruthie. Ruthie is in Wales. Okay. And then looking for Elaine. Raise your hand, Elaine. There you are. You're on the bottom of my second page. Okay. And Elaine is so in Quebec, right? Yeah. Okay. She's in Canada. Love your flowers. And Petra just came on, and Petra is in Portugal, and she's also Hungarian. So we have Hungary and Portugal and a Christmas tree. Nice to see you, honey. Okay. All right, so we're going to start with some information for you. So Mary Magdalene has a very deep relationship with the flower kingdom. And in the late, let's see, it was probably about 2019, and I could be wrong with that. I think it was 18 or 19. Nancy Strachan and I went to France several times for trips that we were offering. And Mary Magdalene has commissioned Nancy to offer these flower essences, and they were very beautifully harvested so that they were clear and direct and pure. They had sunlight and moonlight. And Mary Magdalene actually spoke to Nancy and me about how we could take each of the flowers, and there's 16 flowers, and offer them for the potential of human beings to move into and through whatever challenges would present themselves. So these flower essences are working with the body, the emotion, the mind, and the spirit. And they are those aspects that are closest to nature in terms of their capacity to hold the innocence and the blessing of nature. And we started out by working with each individual in a consultation, rather than having them available on the website or whatever. Mary Magdalene comes into each consultation and supports us in this process. So we now have ways in which you can work with different languages, different locations, and the shipping is of course much easier when we have individuals on both sides of the pond. And our messages from Magdalene are always in tune with what we're experiencing humanly and how the flowers can give us the benefit of their wisdom and the scope that they have. And if you think about, for example, just one rose, the rose is all over the planet, and one rose represents all roses. So when we are working with one particular flower essence, we're also connecting to many, many other spaces, soil, different conditions, and then we have the benefit of all of that consciousness to work from. So it's an extremely amazing idea that everything that we are available to in this moment is so diverse and brings us so much clarity and intention. So the consultation is about 30 minutes long, and we actually work with you wherever you are in that process. So what I'd like to do now is just to start with the Magdalene message, and I will be asking you if you are needing any translation to make sure you're in the correct room for that. Katya is translating in French. She's recording this also there. And then I'm recording it here. And if you don't have connection with Soul Support or with me, you can put your information in the chat if you'd like to receive a recording or you would like to be on our mailing list. Okay, just to make sure that you have that. I'm going to be recording Mary's message singularly here. So if you would like a copy just of the message, that's also possible, as long as I have your information. All right, so let's settle down, settle in, and we'll call Mary forth and feel into her essence, as I know each of us is connected with her essence. And so she would like to say for you, first of all, feel me around you. We have walked together in many, many ways for many, many times, because all time is now, and we are all part of all time. Each of you is ready to stand in the fullness of your light. I am an emissary of light, and I call forth all light. And I now request that you do the same. We are here in this world to create an environment of light. And I want to today be very clear with you that that environment of light is a protection as well as a beacon. So it is a beacon, it is also protection, because what we are finding on the planet are diverse energies that are moving back and forth and disrupting our current individual and group fields. I have seen it at different times, but now it is much more, I will use this word, intense. It is intense now. So part of what I would like to share with you today is perhaps a symbol of light, perhaps a way that the flowers can support us in bringing light, and perhaps also a way for you to think about your environment differently. So the first thing that I would say for you is that your environment is the extension of who you are and what you bring and why you're here. And that environment is extremely profound for each of you because it is your home base. It is where you belong. And from the time that we are very wee beings, we also have an influx of what we could think of as outer conditions or perhaps even the structure of someone else's consciousness impacting that field, that environment, that space. And in this time of evolution that we're speaking about, we are at the end of this year of 20 and 22. We realize that we are being this word inundated. You're receiving a lot of invisible swords. Swords is what I see. You're actually in an available space many times where there are these swords of energy that come and slice away at the environment in which you live. And I'm saying that very caustically, actually, because it's true that these waves of energy disrupt the human form, the human system, the human life force, and the vitality of each of us. And I also want to say that there are ways in which the play of the consciousness now for light must be chosen. It's a time of choice. And the choice is what we really want to understand as the valuable momentum that takes us to our home base, to our home space of belonging, and also takes us to the time of truth. If we think about your environment as a circle, and we think about the movement of light as a circle, and we think about the time of being, where we are right now, as circular, we define the space of that circle with our intention. And as we define the space around us, we also define the space within us. And since every one of our cells is circular, we then define the health and well-being of our essence and our physical body, our emotional balance, our mental clarity, by realizing that the circle that we create in the world is similar, if not identical, to the circle we create within us, in our bodies, in our cells, in our systems. So we are here for the flowers, but we are also here for each other, and we are here for light. And as I was thinking, with this one about how to provide you with the highest understanding of the moment and the deepest revelations of your own beingness, your psyches, I felt like the circle was an answer for you, as if the inner and outer could have vibration in the same way and therefore assure you protection. Because your inner choice and your outer life, or your manifesting of that life, would be cohesive and congruent, that you could trust the momentum of your energy in and out. And in my experience of this, when the in and the out is the same, there is wholeness and peace. And no matter what disruptions might be flying around in the environment. And you could, of course, use your imagination about what I speak. Then you are held in the vibration of your own essence. And that is purity. There is no question that your essence is pure. I know that, and you know that. And as we know these essences, there are many parts of your essence that also want to join. We could think of the time points, the 9 time points of time, past, present, and future, of each past, present, and future point. We can think of your purpose in your blueprint, in the scroll inside of your seat of light. We can think of the momentum of your life force, your vital life energy, your relationships, the creativity that you carry. Many, many things are part of the symbol or the essence of your container, of your environment, your inner and outer being. The flowers are here to bring the scale of percentage for how much is being lived of this combined energy system, all of those things that I've just mentioned. The flowers bring clarity and purity to any one of those areas. They are fundamentally your friend, and they are also part of the creative essence of the great Mother Earth. And because they are all over the planet, they are unlimited in their scope to bring you the truth of who you are and to foundation that in a way that offers the most cohesive and beautiful outcomes that you could imagine. The flowers are innocent, and they follow the design that has been given to them in an ultimate fashion. To say that differently, they do not deviate from the pattern of their beauty, because it is instilled in them as they are blooming. The essence of the flower is unique to that flower, and yet shared by all the flowers that hold that same identity. Each of you is a unique flower. There is no one else like you. And so when you are taking an essence from the heart of the world, that which you choose is then able, because of the forthrightness of that flower, to say to you, I offer you my entirety, my absoluteness, so that you may feel it as well as part of your own, not necessarily blooming exactly like the flower, but blooming as the flower blooms. We could think of it as essence sharing. The flowers share the essence of what it's like to bloom without fear, without judgment, without comparison, without limitation. You can imagine what it would be like from the time that you are in utero, connecting to all of the great mother elements, growing. If you knew, you had that instinctive knowing that your flower was going to fulfill its highest potential without question, to absolutely radiate its beauty without any hesitation, to radiate everything from you in that unique way that you are. So the flowers blend. Because they are absolute, they have no fear of becoming anything else. They just let go of any ideation of imperfection. And they honor you. They honor the space that you have evolved into, because they understand how to work in fields and fields and fields of many, many more flowers. And they want to teach that to us. They want us to understand our authentic uniqueness and share that with humankind with no reservations, so that we can look at ourselves, all of us, as fields of energies that are beautiful together, with no jealousy, no comparison, no anything, just beingness. So the flowers bring us clarity. They bring us focus. They bring us independence that is shared through interconnection. Each of the flowers has an essence that they provide and speak about and want to share. We are in a time where that sense of community and communion is not just necessary, it is absolutely mandatory. And the usual ways in which human beings protect themselves become unnecessary when each individual is held in their own environment of creation and being and expression. So the flowers really want to engender in each of us the promise that their energy and their availability is comprehensive. It is not limited by anything. And no matter what's happening in your life or your environment or your mind, your relationships, your body, that the flowers have a key to unlocking what has been in the past, some kind of protection that has been against, or, for something or not for something, so that your protection becomes your essence versus any other idea that you might hold about what you need to continue in the way that you've continued before. So we are in this process of sharing with nature the elements that provide peace and open to the foundation of the all that is. And every time there is an awareness that we are ready to grow, that's coming from the inside, so that the growth is natural. It is responsive to the sun and the moon and the stars and the absoluteness of creation itself. And that's where trust comes in. We are able to trust our own growth because that environment is coming from the source of our own intention. So the flowers have perspectives. They have opportunities to offer each person, in a sense, and I will say this word deliberate, a deliberate intention from the flowers to make your life easy and graceful, to offer you an opportunity to respond to your innate sense of vitality, clarity, and truth. And the flowers have brought together their essences into groups so that if you are looking for a particular element that you would like to support in that internal environment, that you can then offer that flower, that what we could think of as essence or combination of essences, to support what you know internally is your process of development and growth and expression. Every time that you are alone, there are moments when you question that environment, who to let in and who to let out, how strong to be, or how wise to be, or how present to be, or how safe it is, or what you are concerned about or anxious about. And those human characteristics are widespread. It is my experience that each human at some point, when alone, endeavors to deeply digest what is happening, what has happened, what will happen. And the process of being with flowers is that there is no time, no space, no distance, and no limitation. So whatever the question is that perhaps you do not even yet know, or have not yet expressed, or do not even ever want to express, the flowers gather with you to provide you with this beautiful road or path, to support you in providing the energy that you need or request or desire or intend, so that in each of those moments, the flowers are there with you. They have voices, they have energies, they have essences. They provide instinctually a way for you to know yourself more fully through their capacity to communicate with you the essence they carry. Each of the flowers has an essence they carry that they want to share with you, should you wish to experience it. And each of you has the opportunity to understand the circle of truth that you carry more intently, with intention, so that your presence is enhanced by its own creation. So first of all, I would invite you to think about movement of your body as if it's a searchlight, like one of your lights, like you say a flash light. You take and you move around. And when you move yourself around, you are the beam of that torch. And the beam of that torch defines you in a sense. In other words, it encapsulates your light. It fortifies the brilliance. And it creates an environment that is settling into Mother Earth as you walk, as you move, as you create, as you live, whatever it is. Each of you is ready to be that light, that beacon that offers through your movement and intention to share the uniqueness of your bloom. And that uniqueness is held in the strength of your own being, just like in the flower. It doesn't question its essence, it lives it. So first of all, use that beam. You can use it to send in front of you before you act or move. You can send it anywhere you want to so that it provides you with light and sight, intention, and perhaps a little of the precognition, knowing things, being with things, your intuition, your telepathy, whatever it is. The light can be shared and moved and questioned. You can question something and use the light. And all of the time that you're sending it around or inviting it in, you're still standing in it. Because from this moment, you are a beam of light. And you are a circular beam of light. And the more you breathe that in, ground from above into the below through your body, the more the essence of your body will respond to light, and all of the cells of your body will remember its light, their light, the light, and there will be this cohesiveness. We could call it order. We could call it balance. We could call it wholeness. It is all of those things. The environment that you stand in, you also want to extend. So when you are going into relationship with someone else, your light is extending out around you. When you go into the grocer, when you go into the doctor, when you go into the schoolroom, whatever you're doing physically, you are extending this environment around you as light in this vibration because it holds the integrity of you together with all your parts, all of your levels. It provides you with a safe space. And it doesn't matter what's flying around in the environment around you. This congruent space of resonance that you hold is the key to being harmoniously stable and healthy and happy and well and joyful. In all of the years that I have been in this realm, this is an intense time because you have access to so much pain and sorrow. Everywhere on the planet, you have access to it now. And it calls for you to be held as a blessing, each of you, in whatever way you can hold yourselves as a blessing, so that that blessing multiplies and magnifies throughout the entire planet. This time also calls for you to be aware, to know where you are, what you're doing there, and how to be an environment of light, to carry it, to bring it, to open to it, whatever. I would recommend that you create a physical circle around yourself, in your gardens, in your yards, in your homes, whatever, and step into that circle at least once a day to remind yourself that you carry with you the light of divinity, the light of the earth, the light of all consciousness, and the light of all being. I want you very much also to understand that the essences can assist you with conditions that are now extending around the planet. So, you think of them, you call them viruses, you call them different things. In the beginning of your life, you were held in a womb. Hold yourself in a womb now. Carry into the womb everything that you have ever experienced that has love or light inside it, and bring it into your container now. Bring it all around you. All the love, all the nurturing, all the blessing, all the creativity, all the accordance. Bring it around inside this container, this light circle of the environment that you are. Keep yourself in the womb of the belonging. Create it in any way that you want to, in the room or in the garden, with rocks or stones. If you have the flower essences or purchase them, you can put them around your room. Step inside of their essence every day. Each of you will find a way to provide for yourselves this blessing. And know that the blessing is held in the infinite divinity of this great design that brings us all together in so many ways. The flowers would like to be a part of your life. And it doesn't really matter to them how you prevail with your mind, about choosing which and how of the flowers you will honor. Doesn't matter to them, it is always your choice. The essences of the flowers that we are working with from the south of France have the Magdalene, what we could think of perhaps as imprint, on them. I have chosen the flowers with one Nancy and the one here and others. I have chosen how the flowers relate from their messages to me and then to you. And I have honored them in all of my lifetimes, actually, as the messengers of spirit in form. They are a blessing, never-ending blessing. So each of you has an opportunity to create your light in your circle, to use it daily in every way that you can, to move it in and out of your life, to extend it out when you feel that you would wish to do so. If you stand in the circle every day, holding the vibration and energy of your own being, you are stronger. You are stronger in every area of your experience: body, emotion, mind, and spirit. And you are strong in where you interface with the world around you. And as I vision this, if you will vision it with me, it is impervious to outer influence or swords of untruth. We are creating this circle or ball of truth, circle of truth. And I want you each to understand that that circle of truth is a vibration that takes no prisoners, as you say, stands in its own stead. And it brings you this sense of being majestic, taking up more room, having this, I know who I am, I know where I am, and I am safe in that knowing. Brings you that. And the flowers applaud you as you walk among them, or as you open unto them in whatever way. The other thing about this whole time is that it is very necessary for human beings and nature to begin to cooperate more fully. And the flowers have the level of interest and integrity to make that communion solid and viable. And they offer you that solidity as well, that you work together and you honor that fragrance of being from your very essence. So from the time you get up in the morning until the time you go to bed at night, you are in a circle of light. And your light, as you breathe, is intensifying and extending. And when you feel comfortable, you can extend your field and include others' fields. It is a choice. No, it is a choice. And if you are in the grocery and you just want to walk around in your own bubble, smiling at others, but continuing to hold the integrity of your bubble, do so. It is not about separation. It is about authenticity, clarity, and choice. Because it's truly time to make that choice. And you will have inclinations inside. You will have a sense of, yes, I need to have my bubble strong right now. And there is no judgment about it. It's not against anything. It's this sense of integrity, following the integrity of what you know and who you are. And of course, you are an example of that to everyone else. You are sharing how this works by being it. And you are honoring in the process your own health and well-being, the sacredness of your mind, the sacredness of your essence. So for a moment, just breathe your light. Feel it around you in a circle, all the way down underneath your feet, above your head, around the sides of your body. And now you can add the love, the light, from anywhere you wish. And settle into it. Feel its wholesomeness, its strength, its guidance. And when you have an opportunity, create your circle to stand in once a day. That is the outer reflection of your inner being. Choose the components of that circle carefully, as they will reflect who you are. The essence of what you bring. And the clarity of how you will bring it, how you are bringing it. Know that also, of course, all of those who support you are part of your circle. You may represent us in any way that you wish. And just know that your circle will grow to include many others. Just as a flower growing in a field or a garden includes others. The beauty of all at one time. And you will each have a graduation where in your heart and in your circle of light, there are many who come and you rejoice together that in the trust and in the conscious awareness of the choice to be together, you are growing a new earth. And it is our intention to grow that new earth with you from all spiritual sources. And we honor that with you and call that forth. That you may easily sway in the breeze, aligning with the divine, being your purest essence, carrying the embodied light around you, and joining in community, and all of that is happening in the same instance. This is the vision, the promise of oneness. And we are grateful to be sharing it together. I give my blessings to each of you. Knowing the memories that we share and the promise of what is yet to come. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to share my screen with you now so that you can see the essences. And we have 6 groupings of the essences. And I'm just putting them here so that you can see. Some of you are new to this experience. The group 1 is about physical strength, character strength, and unifying and embodying fortitude. And these essences here, the symphonic oak, signal oak, and yellow daisy, are part of this group and can be chosen to support any or all of those intentions. The second group is about freedom, flying, and being ready. And that is the hawthorn and the lavender flowers. The third one is about being seen, action. That's the scabiosa and the white daisy. The fourth one is about assurance and trust. That is heather and the purple harmony and destiny flowers. The fifth group is clarity and harmony, which are white rose and St. John's wort. And the sixth is non-duality, absolution, interconnection, peace, and unconditional love. And that is the lavender, the red rose, the holly and ivy, the chicory, and the pink rose. And if you would like to work with a consultant, what we usually do is have a 30-minute session that is $30 American or whatever currency that you happen to be using at the moment. And Mary Magdalene will come either through a direct channeling or through pendulums or the capacity of the consultant to work with her and instruct you in how the flowers work and how the process will work. And she and you together will choose which essences work best for you. And so in a consultation, you would come with an intention for how these flowers can support you, perhaps even having chosen some flowers. And then the consultant will work with you to align your intention with the alignment of the flower's intention and with Magdalene's support. So these are the essences that we have. There's 16 of them, and they come in bottles of 1 ounce, and they are $30 each. And I think that's all I need to say now about that. But you would like a consultation, we're asking that you put the person that you would like the consultation with in the chat so that Lisa can put you in a breakout room to schedule a session with that individual. If you have never had a session before or been here before, if you have any questions, I would be glad to answer them. You can raise your hand. I think if you raise your hand, you'll come to the front of my screen and then I can see you better. So we have Ruthie in Wales, and she works with the UK and with Wales and Scotland. And then we have Petra, who is Hungarian and is in Portugal and speaks both of those languages easily. We have Lisa, who is in Israel, and she speaks English as well. And then we have in Canada, we have Dominique and Elaine. And in the United States, we have Nancy in Virginia, and I'm in Vermont, and Denise is in New York. All right. And if you're not ready to sign up for a session, that's fine. If you want to ask more questions, anything you'd like is really fine. You know, we just want to be available to open these to you. The full booklet that we created that has all the 16 essences and more specific understanding about them is on our website, and that's soulsupportsystems.org if you're new to this. So it's www.soulsupportsystems.org. And you can go on and read about them and contact any of us later, or you can just contact Soul Support itself. And if you want to have a consult with someone, I can refer you or connect you. All right. Does it feel like we're ready? Anybody? Give me some feedback. Okay, Lucy's ready. All right, so we have 17 people in the chat. We have 31. Okay, I think we're gonna need to give Lisa a little bit more time. Does anyone want to say anything? Any of the distributors want to offer anything? Okay, well then we'll just wait for Lisa to give us the heads up, the thumbs up that she's ready. And if you haven't chosen, if you've chosen me, you can just stay on the main screen, I think.
So I have all the rooms set up and almost everyone is in, I believe. And I've also set it up to where you can choose your room. So if I open the room and you're in the wrong room, you can click on breakout rooms and choose the name of the person that you want to be in the room with. A couple of people weren't in my list that came on later, so.
Okay. All right. So before we break out, I just want to thank you all for being here today. This is an endeavor that I've had to learn how to do to make flower essences, because I'm a little klutzy. And so it's taught me to really be present and in the moment. And Nancy has had amazing experiences with flower essences and has shared those with each of the distributors. And we're trying to make it easy for you to honor yourselves and the Magdalene energy in you and the light in you, and to use the flowers as a segue or a path to making things easier. They have this amazing capacity to inspire us and bless us as we're taking them. And we have different ways to take them. For example, sometimes someone will, we've had like a policewoman was part of our group one time, and she said, well, I can't really take the drops, so we have ways to put them in your anticubital space here. We can make them in different ways for you. We usually use brandy, but we don't have to use brandy. So if you have any questions or anything comes up, you can talk with your distributor, and hopefully everything will be sorted out. So thank you very much. Sorry for the inconvenience of the link, and we'll change that before tonight. And many blessings to you. And blessings to you all.